Welcome everyone back to my channel. As you guys know, it is that time of the month to do the reading wrap-up of last month. Non-spoiler review section, because you get your spoiler reviews, okay? You do. They're probably in depth more than what you want for the most part. But hey, I get you what I want. Because I'd rather people spoil books for me. Sometimes. Especially for like first books in a series. Anyways, I'm Leanne, and we're going to do a reading wrap-up for November 2025. So, the first thing is, let you see this lovely pile of books. That just fell down. There you go. Lovely pile of books that I read for this month. Okay, so we're going to start off with The Green Mile by Stephen King. So, The Green Mile by Stephen King. What made me read this book? Well, I've seen the movie, and I wanted to read the book to see if there's anything different. And really, there's more fluff in the movie. It was like a 3-hour movie, and I don't know if it's just like a 3-hour book movie. So I think there's more fluff in the movie than there is in the book, but they're pretty much quad pro quo. You know, same. And here it is, okay? At Cold Mountain Penitentiary, along the lonely stretch of cells known as the Green Mile, killers as depraved as the psychopathic Billy the Kid Wharton and the possessed Edward Delacroix await death strapped in old Sparky. Here guards as decent as Paul Edgecombe and as sadistic as Percy Wetmore watch over them. But good or evil, innocent or guilty, none have ever seen the brutal likes of the new prisoner, John Coffey, sentenced to death for raping and murdering 2 young girls. Is Coffey a devil in human form, or is he far, far different kind of being? There are more wonders in heaven and hell than anyone at Cold Mountain can imagine. As the truth emerges in shockwaves that only Stephen King could create, in a blast of revelation that will truly blow your mind. Apologies. Completely and utterly a stand-alone. Okay? The genre is considered to be crime, drama, fantasy, melodrama. Really? What did I think of the book? It was okay. I could just watch the movie and nothing would be really all that different, so it was okay. I didn't really like the movie, so the book was okay. Did this live up to my expectations? Like I said, it was okay. Just like the movie. Though I wish I enjoyed both more. I wish I enjoyed more Stephen King books. I'm finding that I'm not enjoying as many Stephen King books as I thought I would. And it's a little disappointing because Stephen King is like the big man of horror. And I'm just finding out that I'm not really a horror gal. And that disappoints me in ways that you don't even understand. Me not liking horror. What is wrong with me? Right? So, should you go and read this story? Yes, if you love Stephen King and his books, yes. If you love heartache for someone innocent that doesn't deserve death, I mean, like, yeah, you should go ahead and read it. Especially if you like horror or psychological horror, or the, oh my god, this guy who I thought was a criminal is not a criminal after all. You know, that type of deal. Thing. So, there you go. Next is Until the Full Moon 2. By Tsunami Mato. Now this is, of course, a manga. Yay! And it's a series, of course, obviously. It is a series called for Until the Full Moon. This is book 2. Why did I read this book? Well, I loved her fake series, and I did like the first one of Until Full Moon 1. Until the Full Moon 1. So yeah, I did this. So, the back says, who would have thought that there was anything worse than changing into a woman on nights of the full moon? Marlowe certainly didn't. But now his engagement to David Vincent, the handsome, skirt-chasing vampire, has been jeopardized by threats from the past. When one of David's former flames sends for him, begging for help, she neglects to include all the details. Then a glass of special wine causes some childish complications. To make matters worse, it seems that David's father has a few secrets of his own that may very well tear David and Marlowe apart. Can Marlowe and David overcome these pitfalls, or is their love doomed to fail? So, there you go. This genre is considered to be manga fantasy. because it's manga. Manga is just out there. There's a lot of stuff in manga, but it's fantasy as well. Because obviously it's not real life, and fantasy romance is what it says it's on the book. Well, what did I think of the book? It was good for what it was. An ending. Or at least I had thought it, there is more to the story at the full moon. I have the first volume. I'm going to get the second volume soon enough, and then we're going to hopefully read them and figure out what the hell happened, because I didn't even know they existed, and they have existed for a very long time because they were very hard to track down and a little pricey for manga. Because manga is not usually that pricey. Yeah, so. Did this live up to my expectations? Yes. What a love romance with struggles and misunderstanding. Because there's a bunch of misunderstandings between Marlo, David, and all of the characters in here. Like, the characters that we have. Also, that's a pretty decent photo. I don't care what nobody says. I like that photo. The characters in here, there's misunderstandings between them all. And if I could get to them, I'd tell you the misunderstandings. So, Claudia Beaufort, I've misunderstandings. They actually learn about Holly Ardent, which is David's deceased mother, and Jennifer, who is Arnett, David's father's old fiance, comes back, and Caitlin, which is Jennifer's daughter, and then of course I think there's one more in here. He gets shrunken too. So yeah, lots of slave goblins, lots of stuff. We're going to find out that David's mother was actually a human that was turned into a vampire, and they have a disease that comes around and that kills them, and they don't know why, but it does happen. Should you go and read this story/series? Yes, until the film is a twist on males becoming females with struggles. I mean, like, he only becomes a female once a month. I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder if they touch on the whole pregnancy thing. Can he get pregnant? Does it trap him in his female form when he gets pregnant? I wonder if they even addresses that. Well, whatever. Marlo turns into a girl once a month. I'm a girl every month. Every day of the month. And let me tell you, at least he skips on the worst parts of being a fucking woman. But there you go. Crooked Kingdom by Lee Bardugo. It is a sequel to Six of Crows. Okay? So, the Grishaverse. Ow! Fuck! I just hit my hand trying to catch a book. Kaz Breaker, and his crew have just pulled off a heist so daring, even they didn't think they'd survive. But instead of divvying up a fat reward, they're right back to fighting for their lives. A war will be waged on the city's dark and twisting streets. A battle for revenge and redemption that will decide the fate of the Grisha world. I don't know how much fate of the Grisha world is going to be involved in this, unless the King series, the King of Scars duology, has anything to do with it. I don't know. But anyways, this is part of a series called Six of Crows. It's a duology, as far as I know. I don't think there's a third book. It even says duology on the side. What did I think of? I'm skipping all the way over the place. The genre is considered to be fantasy. As far as I know. Fantasy. There's very little romance. So, fantasy. What did I think of the book? I loved it. Kaz was on a roll with everything he did, and he thought a lot of steps ahead, but there were some twists and turns that he had to rethink a lot of his strategies for. Well, some of his strategies. Maybe 5% of his strategies over again. Did this live up to my expectations? Yes. I didn't know how she was going to make another heist even more exciting, but she did. And this heist was to 1, get Ancient back, 2, to get their fucking money back, and 3, to destroy Van Eyck completely. Should you go and read this story/series? Yes, if you love heist, high stakes, love in the making, changes of characters' personalities because they want to do better. Because Waylon, at first, was like, "Why am I here? Why am I here?" It's like, "I'm going to do this because I'm here." Just things like that. And just was like, "I love to gamble, but I want to help Waylon." That's the end of that. We're gonna no longer contemplate on that. Okay. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Okay. There are so many different ones for these backs of these, but when we read this book, it's by Sherlock Holmes. So this is The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes is a collection of 12 short stories by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Revolving around Sherlock Holmes, the most perfect machine to observe and reason on the planet, and quite easily history's best, most popular detective. Using his genius skills of observation and deduction, Holmes cracks mysteries that no one else can, whether for the independent clients or for Scotland Yard itself. The stories are chronicled and narrated by Holmes' trusted partner, Dr. John Watson, who often accompanies the detective during his investigations. This is considered to be fiction. Fiction. What did I think of the book? Each one was unique in how to solve the crime happening, such as The Scandal of Bohemia, where it was about a woman who had a photo about a guy that was a king. Oh no! And then The Adventures of Red Headley. Some people wanted to sit there and break into a vault underground from a guy's shop, so they tricked him to get him out of his house. How did they trick him? I ain't telling you. A Case of Identity. I don't remember all of these. Anyways. There's all kinds of stuff that happens in these. Some of them I don't remember. Oh, the Speckled Band. What is the Speckled Band? And why is it important in this mystery of how a woman died? Or The Adventures of Blue Carbuncle. Where did it go? How did it go? Who stood? The Man with the Twisted Lip. What is your involvement with my husband's disappearance? What do the 5 orange pips mean, and why do they scare people? All of that and more is in this book. Did this live up to my expectations? Yes, it was awesome. I love Sherlock Holmes, and I love the fact that what I thought Sherlock Holmes was just mysteries about murders. It's not just mysteries about murders. It's just straight up mysteries, which is fucking awesome. Should you go and read the story/series? Yes, Sherlock is a very good detective series to read. I like Agatha Christie's series as well. I can't wait to get into reading some Sherlock. No, not Sherlock. Poignant, I think it is. Poignant. And of course, you know, reading about Arsène Lupin is pretty good too. Yep, there you go. Jacob by Jacqueline Frank. I want to read this book. Well, I've read it before and it was awesome, and I wanted to reread it for you guys so I could give all the spilly details about it. Okay? So, since time began, there have been night walkers, races of the night, who live in the shadows of the moonlight. Love with humans is absolutely forbidden. When one man makes certain to uphold this ancient law, Jacob the Enforcer. For 700 years he has resisted temptation, but not tonight. Jacob knows the excuses his people give when the madness overtakes them, and they fall prey to their lust for humans. He has heard every one and still brought the trespasser to justice. Immune to forbidden desires, uncontrollable hungers, and the curse of the moon. His control is total, until the moment he sees Isabel on a shadowy New York City street. Saving her life wasn't in his plans, nor were the overwhelming feelings she arouses in him. But the moment he holds her in his arms and feels the soft explosion of her body against his, everything changes. The attraction is undeniable, vital, and completely against the law. Suddenly, everything Jacob has ever believed is inflamed by the heat of desire.
I love you.
Bring on the night. This is part of a series called The Night Walkers. It literally says it on the book too. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see that. Night Walkers. The genre could pair with paranormal romance. So there's that. What did I think of the book? Well, I loved it. Something changes in Isabella, and it draws her to Jacob in a way no one thought possible. So this isn't also instant love. It's more like I'm drawn to you in a way that I don't understand. Let's see where it goes. Let's see where it leads. And then it's love. Did this live up to my expectation? Yes, I still loved it. I still love the draw of it. I still love the way it's written. And how it's like, oh, there's more than just us out here in the world. We're not the only ones. Should you go and read the story/series? Yes. If you love mysteries, romance, and the supernatural, all squished into one book series, go ahead and read it. Because this is awesome. And I just chipped off the book cover. Oopsie. Just ignore that. We'll just ignore that. Okay? This is what got me into reading books with overarching plots, because it was good. It was good enough to read 5 other books after it. Trust me that. The Ninth Talisman by Lawrence Watt Evans. When we read the book, it was the second book in the series. So the entire world is kept in a delicate balance under the supervision of the Wizard Lord. It is his duty to govern lightly and protect his domain. But if he strays from the way of the just, then it is up to the chosen to intercede. The chosen are the leader, the seer, the swordsman, the beauty, the thief, the scholar, the archer, and the speaker. Magically infused mortal individuals who, for the term of their service, have only one function: to be available to remove an errant Wizard Lord, whether by persuasion or execution. But what if the Wizard Lord is intent on ruling without magic, and with that intention includes the removal of the chosen? Now, this sounds like it's going to be some big epic fucking battle. It's not. It's literally a stopgap between book 1 and book 3. So be prepared for that. If you want to read this, be prepared for that. Okay, this story is part of a series called The Knowledge of the Chosen. The genre is definitely most certainly fantasy. Barrow-kin does not exist anywhere in the entirety of this world, but it does in this world. That one. Right there. Okay? So, what did I think of the book? Well, it was a little boring as nothing really happened until the very end of the book, but you have to read to find out why and how. And maybe you might find it more interesting than me, because it does a lot of world building in this one and a lot of details about the Wizard Lord and where he wants to go. This is level my expectations. Man, when I read this the first time around, I must have been so enthralled, and that's why I kept the series. But it's more like a filler. It's like one of those filler anime episodes where we don't have no manga. Put this in. It's not exactly it, but it'll work until we can close up the gap. We close up the gap. You know, that type of thing. Should you go and read the Sourceless series? The first book, yes, because it definitely has a great plot. The second book is just for the info, so that way you can get on to the third book, which most definitely has more shit going on in it than this one ever did, because this one literally can't show us enough. Dude leaves the place, travels to this place. Speak to this dude, travels back to where he was. Dude leaves this place, go speak to a woman. Go see the dude that he talked to before. Shit happens. That's the book. Nothing really fucking happens until the end. But you still should read the series. It's really good. The first and the third book. I guess. I have to read the third book to make sure. But as far as I know, the first book is good. Read the first book. First book means just the end of it all. Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. What made me read this book? Well, it was the second book in the series. And I put the wrong words down for the series. Reading the back of the book now. Okay. Everyone expected Violet Sorrengill to die during her first year at Basgiath War College, Violet included, but thrusting was only the first impossible task meant to weed out the weak-willed, unworthy, and the unlucky. Now the real training begins, and Violet's already wondering how she'll get through. It's not just that it's grueling and malicious brutal, or even that it's designed to stretch a writer's capacity for pain beyond endurance. It's a new vice commandant. It's made it his personal mission to teach Violet exactly how powerless she is unless she betrays the man she loves. Although Violet's body might be weaker and frailer than everyone else's, she still has her wits and a will of iron. And an important lesson Basgiath has taught her: dragon riders make their own rules. But a determination to survive won't be enough this year, because Violet knows the real secret hidden for centuries at Basgiath War College, and nothing, not even Dragonfire, may be enough to save them in the end. I mean, Dragonfire does save them in the end. But I'm going to tell you how. Obviously, that would be the biggest spoiler in the whole fucking world. This story is part of a series called The Imperium. And so far there are 3 books out, with a 4th one on the way. At the time of this recording in November of 2025. 2025. Got it? Do you got it? Okay. So this genre is considered to be fantasy, romance, and adult. So definitely adult. There's a lot of murder going in here. A lot of smexy time going on in here. The good smexy kind, not the bad. What did I think of the book? I loved it. The surprises, the twists, and turns were so good, and I still want to string over Rebecca Yarros for what she did to Liam. Okay. Did this live up to my expectations? Yes. Rebecca did not disappoint on the second book in the series. It was a lot more world-building, but it did not drop the ball on anything at all. Should you go and read the Story Slush series? Yes. If you love dragons, romance, definitely love jealous exes, and surprises. She gives you a lot of them. A lot of them. Okay, so that is the end. That is the end. That is the end. I read 7 books in November. Technically, 2 of them were Audible, so I didn't read. But you want to know something? I'm going to tell you this now. That I did, even though I listened to the Audible for Iron Flame, I did, what is that stupid thing? What is it? What is it? What is it? Tab it and highlight it. So I did go back through and technically read it a second time, so I tab it while I was listening to it. Yeah, so there you go. And that's my wrap up. As you can see, there's a lot of books here. 7 books I read. I'm keeping all but one of them currently. I might, in the end, decide that the Annals of the Chosen One might kick the butt ticket out of my bookshelf after I read the last one for you guys. If I decide that, you know, the third one does not make up for anything dealing with the second book, because I really forgot how droll the second book was compared to the first one, because the first one was very interesting. So we'll see where we go for there, but I'm not telling you which one I am scrapping. You guys will just have to figure that one out, or just wait for my book on haul at the end of the year in December, unless you've already watched it, in which case you already know which one it is. If you guys think I deserve a like, comment, or even your lovely subscription, why don't you go ahead and drop it down below. I will see you next illusion.